guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today is a birthday glam for my sister Chloe. We did a spotlight eye using one of the JLO Inglot Pigments. It's quite glowy, kind of reminded us of the Ariana Grande 7 Rings video, so I hope you guys enjoy. So one of the first things I'm doing is, after she's already cleansed, exfoliated and moisturised her skin, I am prepping the skin with MAC Strobe Cream in Peach Light. Okay, going first in with brows, I'm taking NYX's Espresso Brow Pencil and I'm just outlining the shape of where I want her brows to go. Chloe actually likes to have quite a defined, structured, dark brow, that is her preference. So I'm just outlining that using the NYX Espresso Brow Pencil until I'm happy with the outlined shape. Feels like we're so meant to be. Incredible, 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 incredible. And repeating the same process on the opposite eyebrow. Next, I am filling her brows in using Anastasia's Ash Brown Pomade. And then I'm just filling all of the brow in, and as I get to the start of the brow, I am flicking the product upward as though to fade out and have softer start to the brow. And then I'm just brushing that through using the spoolie on the end of my brush. The brush I'm using is from Anastasia. So we can keep dancing, so we can get drunk in the street, yeah. Spinning around all these lampposts like we're in a movie. Next, I am going underneath those brows using some concealer. The concealer I'm using is by Tarte and it is in the shade Light Medium, and I'm just going around the brow to structure it in the way that I want and neaten it up a little bit. Chloe was a little bit tanned here, so I didn't want to go with too light a concealer as I wanted it to appear natural when we apply her foundation. Next, I'm using that same concealer across the eyelids to prep them for the shadow, being quite careful when applying this as she had lash extensions on and I didn't want any product falling onto those. I'm then setting the eye area using MAC's NC20. As you can see, I'm padding this on just to avoid any product falling onto those eyelashes. Okay, the first thing I'm doing is I am prepping the sides of her eyes using the transition shade Sandalwood using a Zoeva brush. I'm blending this into her crease and outward in a V shape. I'm then going to the inner corner and I'm packing this on and meeting it sort of midway, leaving a fair amount of space in the middle. And just blending the edges out to join both sides up. As we're going for a spotlight eye, I am leaving the centre bare, and that is where we're going to apply our pigment later. And then repeating the same process on the opposite eye, packing it onto the outer V and then onto the inner corner and connecting the top of those edges up. Now to darken up the outer crease, I am going into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette and I'm using the shade Cypress Umber. Now for the fun part, I am applying the JLO X Inglot Pigment in Cosmic Glow. I use this mixing it with the Inglot Duraline just to allow it to be a little bit easier to apply onto the eye. And I'm just applying that to that centre of the eyelid where we left the space for the spotlight and blending it upwards. And to apply this, I am using a synthetic brush. Could you tell me, babe, what went wrong? And now we're free. Yeah, then I'm just blending the outer corners in to mould in with the spotlight eye. As she does have lash extensions and she wants them to last for a good amount of time beyond this point, I'm actually using black eyeshadow to act as her liner and I'm winging it out at the edge. So this is going to cause for a really soft wispy liner. I'm using the shade Black Truffle from the Huda Beauty palette. The same as what I used for the outer transition colour in Sandalwood. It's the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette.
Can I get some immunity or just clarity? 'Cause I don't feel like I really thought I would. Or is it like it should? Did we hold on for too long?
Next, I am using a bare spoolie just to roll out any product or powder that had fallen out onto the lash extensions. Going in with foundation, I am using the shade Bisque Taupe all over her. I'm applying this to all the parameters of her face and blending that out using a damp beauty blender. She was actually going clubbing on this evening, so I wanted something that had a matte consistency but also was going to stay with her throughout the night and wasn't going to melt away, as it doesn't have a dewy consistency. Going straight under the eye with her concealer, I'm taking the NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Creme Brulee. And then setting her under eyes, using the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. Initially, I am taking some of the product and batting it onto the back of my hand to apply it, and then going on with a thicker layer. Makes the under eyes appear softer and less harsh. And then setting the remainder of her face using MAC's NC30 and setting her under eyes and wiping off that bake using NC20. And then going back underneath the eyes with that transition shade using Sandalwood from the Huda Beauty palette. And then also going underneath her eyes using Suede from the palette to act as liner, and then applying some mascara onto those bottom lashes. Jumping into contouring, I'm still using a powder contour here. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in light to medium. And then going over that with some bronzer. Here I am using Hoola bronzer in the original shade. And then I'm cutting that contour using Laura Mercier's translucent powder. Just tapping some Laura Mercier translucent glow powder onto the forehead. Now for blush, I am using MAC's Warm Soul. And topping that off using Milani's Luminoso. For inner corner highlight, I am using MAC's Nylon. And then to give it a bit more glow, I am then applying MAC's Glitter in Reflects Gold. And then for highlighter, I'm using Soft and Gentle across the Cupid's bow, top of the cheekbones and across the nose. And then just wiping away that bake. Now for lips. For lips I am using MAC's Oak Lip Liner. I actually asked Chloe to put her head up, as this is a trick I learned from Makeup by Mario, as it allows you to see the true lip shape. And then just applying some Sweet Tea lip liner by Morphe, just to make them appear a little more plump. Going over this using MAC's Blankety lipstick. And then setting her face, avoiding the eyes using some Fix Plus. Then using the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Venus. Setting her brows in place using the Benefit Brow Gel. I hope you guys enjoyed today's birthday glam. I will be back soon with some new tutorials, but until then, have a good one.